And in other updates that we are tracking, the European Union's €120 million fine on Elon Musk's X has triggered a full-blown war of words between Washington and Brussels. In fact, while the EU has been aggressively enforcing its digital laws, most recently hitting Google with penalties totaling more than $3 billion, it is the action against X that has sparked a sharp political backlash. Brussels saying X violated the Digital Services Act by using a deceptive blue check system, withholding public data from researchers, and failing to provide clear advertising transparency. In fact, the EU officials insisting the case is about compliance and transparency and not censorship.
X has indeed breached its transparency obligation under the DSA. This includes X's blue checkmark. It deceives users. Anyone can pay to obtain the verified status, and X does not meaningfully verify who is behind it.
In the United States, top Trump administration officials erupted within hours of the announcement. The Secretary of State, in fact, said the fine was an attack on all American tech companies, while the Vice President, J.D. Vance, accused the EU of trying to censor Americans online. The FCC chair said Brussels was targeting X simply because it was a successful U.S. platform. Musk went further, calling the EU a bureaucratic monster, urging the bloc to be abolished and insisting he was not kidding. Musk also claimed X is seeing record downloads and has become the #1 news source across EU countries. The clash coming at a sensitive moment in transatlantic politics, with rising tensions over free speech, tech regulation, immigration, and the war in Ukraine. The DSA allows penalties of up to 6% of the global revenue, giving the EU broad enforcement powers over global platforms operating in Europe. While Google fines show the EU is willing to go after big tech, the reaction to the X penalty revealing how politically explosive these cases have become. And earlier, we spoke to Dr. Volker Stanzel, former German ambassador to China and a senior distinguished fellow at the German Institute for International and Security Affairs, and also with Greg Swenson from London, chairman Republicans Overseas UK, and international affairs expert. Listen in to the perspectives that they shared with us.
Yes, there is a rift emerging, but it's not purely about those 5% of GDP be given for NATO expenses, because if you look at the newly decided budget of Germany, it also has the 5%. I think most of European countries now have decided to go for the 5% level. Poland is not the only one. The problem that we have are of a different kind. One is philosophical. If you look at EU countries like Hungary, which displays great sympathies for many parts of Russian policy, and look at on the other hand, at countries like Great Britain. Okay, that's not the EU, but it's a European country nevertheless. Great Britain, Germany, then you will see that they feel threatened by Russian policies. I mentioned the term hybrid war. And this is a more strategic than economic problem that we're facing.
There are cracks in the EU. I think it's it's great to see Poland matching or at least reaching the targets of 4 or 5%. I think is what Poland 4 or 5% of GDP is what Poland is spending, but it's more important for the larger economies. It's if you look at Germany and France and even the United Kingdom, they're just not meeting the targets. They have assigned 5% as their goal, but I'm not sure how they can reach that because of the economic crisis. And so, it will be really difficult to maintain the welfare states that they've become at the same time reaching 5% of GDP on defense spending. That's going to be a real challenge.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.